Morning, boys and girls, and welcome to Tuesday, the 9th of February's Internet Safety. It is topic day, and we're going to look at how to keep safe on the internet. So, how do you use the internet? I'll have a look at these images and see if there are any images that you recognise. Are there any devices that you play on, or are there any internet websites or games that you play on? Count how many you know. So today we're going to have a look at using the internet safely. And when we use the internet, we often speak to people online. But who do you speak to online, and do you really know that person? So, do you know them? What about your teacher? You know your teacher, but how well do you know your teacher? And someone in your class or someone in your family? There are different ways that we know people, and we know people at different levels. You know people in your family very, very well because you often visit them, you trust them, and they look after you and care for you. But do you know someone in your class as well as you know someone in your family? Think about that. You know the person in your class and the children in your class, but not quite as well as you know someone in your family. You can trust them and you play with them and they're your friend, but not like a family member. What about your teacher? You know your teacher and you trust your teacher, but you don't visit their house. And you don't know a lot about your teacher from outside of the school, and you might not know a lot about your friend in school outside of school. So there are different ways that we know people, but those people you still trust, they're still your friends, and you still talk to, and you tell them things about you and your family or your life. But what about these people? What is the difference? What's the difference between talking to your family member and talking to someone online? Talking to someone on a game or talking to someone over the internet. Online means that when you're using the internet, and sometimes we talk to those people through the apps that you looked at the first slide, through YouTube, or through your games on YouTube. When you talk to someone on a game, some boys and girls play Fortnite, some boys and girls have apps and Facebook. People talk to each other through those applications. So, what's the difference between talking to somebody in your family and talking to somebody online, or watching a famous YouTube star? How well do you really know that person? Do you know them very well? Do you know anything about them? And is it safe to tell people the people online and using YouTube or on your games that you don't really know? Let's have a look. What about your friend, your class, someone in your class? If this is you in the middle, how well do you know them? How close would you say you are to them? I'd say someone in your class you know quite well. Not like a family member that you know outside of school, but you know them well enough. What about a famous YouTuber? How well do you know someone that's famous on YouTube? Because sometimes what we see on the internet is not quite real life. So how well do you know someone on YouTube? Do you know anything about them other than their YouTube videos? Not really. So we don't really know them at all. What about an online gamer? What about somebody you play online with? Now, if you play online with someone in your class, you know them quite well. But what about if somebody joins your game that you don't know, another online gamer? How well do you know them? Not really. I've put that a little bit closer than the YouTube because the person that's famous on YouTube, because you might play with your friend online. The online gamer might be your friend, and that's okay if you know that person outside of the game and outside of the internet. But if you don't know that person and it's not somebody from your class, you don't know them at all, you don't know anything about that person, and that person might tell you their name or how old they are, but that might not be true. And how would you know? You don't know if you can't see them and you haven't met them outside the internet. So we have to be careful because we don't know who we're talking to on the internet sometimes. What about an online group? How well do you know someone from an online group? Not at all. That person online that you have never met before could be anybody. They might say that what their name is and how old they are or where they live, but that might not be true, and we don't know because we do not know them very well or outside of the internet. Your family are close. You trust your family, you know them outside of your house, they visit your house, you visit their house, you trust them, they care for you, you look after them, you know where they live, you know who they are, and you know that you are safe with that person. What about your teachers? They're not as close as your family, but they are your teachers and they know things about you and they can look after you, and you can be safe with them. But you don't know your teachers outside of school, so they're not as close as your family. So have a look at how close people are to you and how well you will know someone. There are different levels and different ways that we know people. And depending on how well you know someone, depends on how much you tell them about you and yourself. So, who to trust online? Let's have a look at Ben. Ben is having lots of fun playing on a game online against one of his friends from school. So he knows that person, he knows them from school, so he's okay playing with them online. But suddenly, Ben gets a message on his tablet and it says, "Hello, my name is Sam, what's your name?" Ben's not quite sure, he's shocked and he doesn't know what to do. He didn't know this person, but he didn't want to be unkind and say they couldn't play the game. Do you think he should tell them his name? What would you do? Does he know that person? Pause the video and talk about what you would do, and would you let that person play your game and tell that person your name? What did you find? You shouldn't tell that person your name. You do not know that person, and even though his name is he says his name is Sam, it might not be true. We don't know because we do not know that person outside of the internet, or you don't know that person from anywhere else. You don't know them from school. You don't know them from your family. So you shouldn't tell them your name or any of the information about yourself because you do not know who they are. What about this? Ben had lots of fun playing on his tablet and he was playing his game, but suddenly an advert turned up for another game. There was an arrow that Ben could press to download the new game, but Ben had never seen the game before and he thought it looked really exciting. Should he press the arrow to download the game? What would you do? Pause the video. You should not press that game. You should not download that game. It might not be a real game. If it's a game that you have never seen before and your mums and dads haven't seen or haven't said it's okay to download, you shouldn't download games without your mum and dad's permission. You should always check with an adult. And the same with the message that Ben got. If he doesn't know the person that sent him a message and wanted to play his game, he should have told a grown-up. And same when you're downloading games. Sometimes there might be a virus in that game which will break your computer or your device, or it might be a virus that goes onto your tablet and then it can get your information or important things about you that not everyone should know, only the people close to you that you would tell. You would tell your friend at school your name, you would tell your friend at home your name, or your family member or your teacher, but not people on the internet that you do not know. Remember that circle, and remember how well you know someone or how close someone is to you. But Ben should not download this game. He should tell his mum or dad or a grown-up about that to take it off his tablet. So Mum told Ben that because he'd been really sensible using his tablet, he could watch a video on her phone while he was shopping, but accidentally pressed something on the phone and a different video appeared on the screen. Ben didn't know if he should watch the video, and his friend Buddy wasn't there to help. What should he do? Should he watch the video? What would you do? Pause the video. He shouldn't watch that video. He doesn't know if that video is appropriate. That means that if it's a good video and the right video for him to watch, it might have things in that he is not old enough to see or know about. So he shouldn't watch that video. What would you do if you saw a video that you know you should not be watching? You should tell a grown-up. You should turn your tablet off and tell a grown-up what has happened, but he should not watch that video. So here are some internet safety rules, and we remember our rules because they spell the word smart. Smart. An S in the smart means safe. Keep safe and be careful not to give out your personal information. Information means things about yourself. Information about your name, where you live, your telephone number, or where you go to school, or pictures of yourself. So be smart. If you do not know that person on the internet, you do not know them well, you should not tell them your information. So be safe. M in smart means meet. You shouldn't meet anybody from your online conversations. If someone sent you a message that you don't know asking to meet you, you do not do this. You should only do this if you have your parents' permission and that person, your parent, knows that person. It is dangerous to meet someone that you do not know. Later on this week we will look at stranger danger. A is for accepting. Don't accept messages or files or text messages, just like Ben did with the game. If he didn't know if he could trust that website and that game, he should not download it. So do not accept. Reliable. Reliable is information, is something that is true, that you know is correct, and it's reliable. Information you find on the internet is not always true. T is for tell. If you see or hear or know that something is wrong when you are on the internet and you are using your tablet or device on your games or on your apps, and you know that it is wrong and you shouldn't be downloading games and you shouldn't be watching that video, or you should not have had that message from someone online that you do not know, you should tell a grown-up. If it makes you feel uncomfortable and you know it is not safe, you should always tell your grown-up. So they are our safety internet rules. So your task today is going to be to create your own internet safety poster. Your teachers, or you can rewind this video and pause the last slide, which tells us our smart internet safety rules, and I would love for you to create your own safety poster to remind you and others about the rules and the steps to follow to keep safe online. I would love to see your photos on Tapestry, and I can't wait to see your work in school if you're in school, and I want it nice and colourful. And remember those important things about telling people on the internet information about you, and games and apps that you know are not safe, and videos that you know you should not watch. So design your own poster and upload your images to Tapestry. Have a good time doing this. It should be nice and fun and colourful to do. See you soon. Bye.